Hello YouTube, I'm back with the next Battlebots tutorial review, and today I'm reviewing the Build 'em Bash 'em game. But before I do that, let me just apologize. You may have been expecting to see Battlebots last week. I kind of goofed on that. I ended up doing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sardex, Yugi, and Kaiba. I guess I was a little too excited for the nostalgia for that. It's been my first one of those reviews. But this should be back to normal here. I'll try to make sure that I get them in the same order as I usually do. So what this was, from my recollection, I didn't really actually use it the way it was intended to be used, but I have a couple of these. There's red and blue, and you would put your toy here, and it'd be sort of like the grip and grapplers, where you'd have some control over which way the, let's see if I can show it better here. You can move the toy back and forth, and I think this would fire the weapon. And as you saw there, I had the Judge. The Judge was actually, this is one of the only merchandise that was actually made for it. And they actually have these little armor panels on top. They come off pretty easily, or they should. Let's see if I can... They snap fit, so they'll pop off. And revealing like a couple mock innards of the robot. This one I've actually already kind of converted for regular play. And what's nice about these is you can swap the hammers. I'm not going to do it with this one, because this one underneath, it's got tape just so I can have it like slide around the arena and actually like fight as though we were on the show. This is good. This is a good replica. As you can see, if you remember the Judge from the show, it was a powerful hammer. Did damage to the arena at least a few times. Even proved to be effective in the rumbles. Actually knocking out, I think Half Gassed, I think was the name of the robot from Team Kiss, which you probably better know from Slam. Steven and Lowell Nelson. This is Joshua Little, the original robot, before they went into help, I think, with Chomp, or I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Chomp or something like that in the ABC reboot. That's awesome. What's nice about this is that although the bases they used to actually sit on, which were like, twice, they would actually extend beyond the body, underneath the body, you could actually... I was able to unscrew half of it and actually get it to this form, so it actually fits nice and neatly underneath. Let's see, you can probably see the screw holes in certain areas. That's why it's a little lumpy here. But what's also really nice is that the spring that makes the weapon work stays. So it's like, works pretty well. I would say this is very accurate to the Judge. This is obviously the Season 3.0 design. And I think this came out in 2002. It's just something I didn't even probably realize existed until probably, I guess I stumbled upon it on Amazon or something. It's pretty cool, the fact that they got all these... This is the only merchandise the Judge has. It wasn't even in the Battlebots video game. Although, if we had gotten the GameCube game, there's probably a good chance it would have been in there. I don't know. I think it was also released as one of the cards in the Kickbot Arena game. It was one of the cards among one of the 24 that was made here. Okay, I'll go to the next one, which is I'm going to go with Deadblow here. This is obviously the Season 3.0 design. And what's interesting is the wheels move. These are actually... The wheels actually spin, which is kind of nice. But even with the when I actually remove the bottom half, this gives a little clearer view. No tape on it on this side. It'll show, yeah, the little gap here. They were actually they were marked accordingly, red and blue. And I think this is what would actually pop the panels off, because you can see they fit right underneath where the panels are. So if I take a panel off here, you can see that. See, now it's completely see-through on this side. You can now see right into my shirt a little bit. That's, I think, what they were aiming for. So you'd hit them, and then you'd bring this back up here. The little gauge here. I think this is like you're keeping track of your record here. So you're actually beating them a total of like 4 or 5 times, and then you win if you can manage to get all of them out. You send them flying, send their opponent's robot flying 5 times. It's pretty cool though. I mean, they got nice little snap-on panels. They stick on pretty well. This is obviously Deadblow. This is the Season 3.0 design. It's got his trademark hammer slash flipper. Didn't really do that well in competition. It was bad drive system design. They broke against Spinster, so they were very lucky to get past that round. And then it happened again against Twin Paradox, but they didn't have the chance. And this is why, if you watch the fight towards the second time they go over the kill shot, they just roll to a stop. That's why. All the motors were not strongly bonded to the wheels. They just broke free. And that's also partly why, if you watch the fight carefully, you can see he starts kind of, like, after the first hit of the kill saws, he ends up seemingly, like, not really moving very well. That's why. It's because the motors were not connected well to the wheels, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have them very solidly built, and they didn't have it. They did have it previous seasons, and I think they had it later seasons. I found this out in the Battlebots Delphi forums. It took a lot of digging to find that. And it was not even in the same location as you'd expect. It was not in the fight thread. But regarding the toy here, it's very well replicated. It's got the side skirts here. And just to show, pop the hammer off. Put on any hammer I want. There's multiple ones here. This is Frenzy's hammer, as you might be able to recognize. Swatch them out pretty easily. In case you're curious, you can put them another way. I don't know why you would, but you certainly could. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a bit bigger hammer, but these can be swappable. What I can do next is I'll put them on each of them so you can see what they would have looked like, because I do have them. Okay, I'll go on to the next one here. If I get this thing off, maybe a little more tricky because I haven't actually taken it off in a long time. They usually come off pretty easily. Take a little. There you go. There's the chassis for Battlebot. I'll put in Overkill. Yep, Overkill was one of the ones released. It actually is supposed to have 2 armor panels, but you can see one here. I don't know where the other one is. I've tried finding it before this review. I can't, but Overkill's hammer is a little bit different. I think that's because they wanted to actually get some damage in. Although it's pretty accurate to the robot. You can see what they're trying to do. They gave it a little extra. They made it more like a hammer. Kind of like Deadblow's, but it's still got the general details here. Axe still works. It doesn't go as far as I probably would like it to go. And these actually come off, as you can see. The little screws on the side. You can actually take these off. They weren't. I didn't screw them on all that tightly, but kind of gets the point across anyway. This is just further evidence of the see-through design of the toy. This is very well done. I would say it's too bad. Overkill's wedge isn't really a wedge. It's kind of boxy-like, more. It's very flat. So they kind of tried to get the wedge. I can see with it, you can sort of see it, but it's too. Now, obviously, this isn't what the whole point of the game is. And while we're at it, I can show you the blue one. The blue one's exactly like the red one, but just in case you were curious, it's the exact same thing. Very identical. The original is the knob. This is the knob that makes it. That turns the gray thing at the top here. You're just seeing it turn back and forth. You can only turn so much, though. But you probably don't need it to turn all that much. So, yeah, I guess this is Overkill. And this will give you a little taste of what the insides would look like. I mean, it's got some of the sponsors on here. This is obviously Season 3. It's got the Magic the Gathering sponsor on the one armor panel that I have. These come off pretty easily as well. They're all designed the same way. I mean, they just... So, you saw the Frenzy one, but... I'll get that one out next, and I will put in the Frenzy's hammer, just so you can see. You might get a little bit more, I go, oh, okay, yeah, I see. That's Frenzy's hammer. Here's Frenzy. This is the Frenzy shell. Frenzy didn't really change all that much, so. And here's the Frenzy hammer. Yeah, this might look a little bit more like Frenzy now. But of course, as you can see, it doesn't go far enough. It's just meant to attack your opponent. I'd say it's very well done. I mean, no sponsorships on here. I presume this is the Season 3.0 design. You can see I have a little tape on here because I think I was trying to make it work as the way I did the Judge, but yeah, I probably don't have enough tape for it because my Grappler one got kind of destroyed. It didn't really all that fare all that well. I don't think I've reviewed that yet. It's kind of falling apart anyway. I can get that reviewed later, but this is very well done. This actually comes off a little more easily. I think it's because the panels are maybe a bit old, but there's the inside of Frenzy's. Get that side. And it shows you the little innards, so you can get a better look. Let's see, yeah, that's a good shot. My finger in the way. Finger, yeah, you can see right through it. It's kind of cool. It's like they kind of got the mock Lexan on the top. It's kind of reflective. That's pretty cool. Okay, everybody. think I got everybody here. So as a whole, I'd say these are pretty awesome. I mean, I didn't play the game itself, so I have honestly no idea, you know, how well that works out. I think there were also cards you could upgrade your robot, quote unquote upgrade. So I think the point was you fight, and then you upgrade somehow, and then you fight again. I don't know. Maybe not. But either way, I'd say these are definitely a good deal of fun if you're a fan of the show. This will be the only merchandise you'll get the judge out of. And it's kind of too bad that Deblo's wheels, even like the only way the wheels actually touch the ground is if the chassis is if the you saw the little black thing inside Frenzy here. That little thing, it's just a little too far down. The wheels are barely below the chassis here. But these are very well done. Obviously, they have another purpose. I mean, if they're flat on the ground, like without the chassis, it actually rolls on its own. So these are very well detailed. I mean, they don't just like put the. It's not like the mini bots, which I think run on such a tight schedule. And they put a lot of detail even in the front of the of each of the shells here. My dog's in the background, almost video bombing me, but that's okay. So yeah, that's my review on the Battlebots Build 'em Bash 'em game. Mostly the shells, really. Thanks for watching.